In this lesson, you are going to install your first Windows Server 2022 machine. You have set your virtual machine up and it's now ready to host Windows Server 2022. So let's open VMware Player. Select the virtual machine Windows Server 2022 GUI, the one you created earlier. And before starting the deployment of Windows Server, you need to attach the image file to the virtual machine to boot the VM from this image. To do that, click on Edit Virtual Machine Settings. Select CD and DVD. Select Use Image File and click on the Browse button to select the ISO file of the Windows Server 2022 image. Click OK to validate. What you have done here is attach the ISO image file to the virtual machine so that this one will see the ISO file as if it was a CD or a DVD. Now you can start your VM by clicking on Play Virtual Machine. Press a keyboard key to start from the CD or the DVD. The setup process begins. On the first screen, there is the language to install, but there is only the English language available. And this is because when I have downloaded the ISO image file, I selected the English language. You can choose the time and currency format. It's English by default. The keyboard input method, as I have a French keyboard, I will choose the French layout. Click Next to continue. Click Install now to begin the installation. The setup is starting. On this screen, you need to select the operating system you want to install. You have choices between the Windows Server Standard Edition and Windows Server Data Center Edition. And for both editions, you have the Core option and the Desktop Experience option. For your first Windows Server installation, choose the Desktop Experience option. The Desktop Experience is the full installation of Windows Server with all the graphical interfaces. The Desktop Experience Edition is helpful if you want to install and use applications on your Windows Server. And it's also easy to configure Windows Server using the graphical interface than typing commands, especially for a beginner administrator. The disadvantage of the Desktop Experience option is that it consumes a lot of disk space and needs more resources to run, like the CPU and the memory. The Windows Server Core version, on the other hand, will install Windows without the graphical interface. The server footprint is low, but you need to use the command line to configure Windows. The core version is suitable for specific server roles like Active Directory, DHCP, and DNS. I will ask you later in this course to create another virtual machine and install Windows Server Core version. And I will give you all the necessary instruction to do that. But for now, let's keep moving with the Desktop Experience version. Accept the Microsoft Software license terms and click Next. Which type of installation do you want? The first option, Install Microsoft Server and Keep Files, is applicable when an operating system is already installed and you want to keep the existing configuration. This is not currently the case, so select the second option instead. Install Microsoft Server operating system only. Here you need to select the disk on which you want to install Windows Server. As there is only one disk on this machine, select it and click Next. The installation begins. This will take a moment to complete, so I will pause the video and resume the video afterwards. The installation has finished and you need to complete the configuration. First, you need to enter a password for the administrator account. The administrator account is the account that has the highest privileges on the server. It can, for example, create other users' accounts, change users' passwords, and many other operations that a standard user can't do. So enter the password twice and click on Finish. Alright, you are done with the installation. Windows Server displays the welcome screen and you need to press Ctrl-Alt-Delete keys to unlock the screen. But if you press Ctrl-Alt-Delete keys, you will lock your computer or laptop screen. VMware Player has replaced the Ctrl-Alt-Delete keys with Ctrl-Alt-Insert keys to not conflict with the host operating system. Type the administrator password. Yes, you did it. You are now logged in Windows Server 2022. Congratulations! In the following lessons, you will do the first configurations like setting up the server's IP address, changing the default hostname, and so on. So keep learning and see you in the next lesson.